All right. Here we are out here in Sundance Square. About to get started on this podcast. And, just glad to be back in Texas. Glad to be here, checking everything out, looking at everything. Ain't nothing changed. It's as glorious as ever. I'm telling you, I am feeling amazing. Life is good. And I don't know what you're going through right now, but whatever it is, if you're not happy, you can be happy. And it doesn't have to be based on external things. Happiness is an internal thing. It's what starts on the inside. And when you realize it, that everything that you want in life must start on the inside of you. You must see it on the inside of you. You must receive it as if you already possess something inside of your being. Because in you is everything that you're ever going to need to succeed in life. You don't have to look to anyone else. You don't have to look to a particular amount of money. You can see that within yourself, there is so much life, there is so much goodness, there is so much glory, there is so much actual perfection within you. You have been designed by perfection. Everything about you, from your fingerprint to the desires. Stop fighting your desires. What is it that you really want in life? What is it that you're going after? You know, because if you're not going after something, that means you're settling for anything. And I'll tell you what, I'm 53 years old, and my days of settling, or my days of thinking that it all has to line up in the physical realm before I can actually obtain it, that's a bunch of bull. That is a lie. You've got to see that you are complete, that you lack nothing, that abundance looks for you, that money is on its feet and you are a money magnet, that people are looking for you, that people are being drawn to you, that no matter where you're at, whatever it is, you're the light of the world, and you're allowing your light to shine forth so that people can see the light, come to the light, and be refreshed by somebody that is radiating life. You see, life is such an amazing thing. It's such an amazing gift and privilege that we have, that it's just so unfortunate that so many people live it with their head down. Live it with this anxiety and this stress. Instead of living life the way life was meant to be lived. Sure, there may be challenges. Sure, things may come against you. But do you know those things don't have to define you? They don't have to be the label that you accept for your life, that you can actually see yourself different. And the way that you see yourself is what you're going to project outwardly. You see? So what you're projecting on the outside, listen, friend, that's what you're going to attract to you. If you always seem to find people that complain a lot about things, well, then you've probably projected a lot of complaining or being disgruntled, just feeling like you just are always on the short end of the stick. And that's a mindset. And guess what, friend? Mindsets can be broken. Mindsets can be changed. You don't have to continue to think the same way you've always thought. If you thought yourself to be nothing, then guess what, my friend? It's time to start seeing yourself as something. It's time to start seeing yourself as complete, as righteous, as blessed, as abundant. Because as you see yourself, that is exactly how you are going to be. You can only be what you see on the inside. And, I know the term fake it till you make it, but when you believe something inside of you, you're not faking nothing. You've already assumed the feeling that you already own it. It is who you are. It is every fiber of your being. It is every breath that you take. It is every moment, every thought that you even think. That's how beautiful this is. That is the beauty of it. That you are an amazing person. and that you're on an amazing ride, amazing discovery of everything that you already possess. Quit looking outside to try to find it. Look inside of you. If we go dig for gold and we find gold, when did the gold appear? It's been there the whole time. You just discovered it. And friend, there is gold inside of you. There is treasure in your earthen vessel. And all you need to do is have your eyes open to it and actually accept and embrace what's being said, these good things about you. Why is it so easy for people to accept wrong ideas about them? How come it's so hard that when somebody comes and shares something good with you, that it's so hard for so many people to accept? See, I'm telling you, good news is what I want to hear. That's what opens the eyes of our understanding. That's what enables us to see a polar or something opposite of what we've been seeing in our lives for all these years. Some of us have saw ourselves the same way our entire life. And if that's the case, I am here to tell you that it can change today. You can start today by looking at yourself in the mirror and start saying something positive about yourself instead of something negative. Now, it may take a little time, but I'm here to tell you, as long as you don't shipwreck your faith, that what you are believing, what you are assuming, what you see on the inside of you, you will begin to project that on the outside of you, and people will start coming to your light. That's how it works, my friend. I'm not talking about some religious system. I'm talking about you believing what's always been true about you, your authentic self. Not the hurt self. Not the one that has a hard time forgiving. Not the one that has a hard time trusting. I'm talking about the authentic you. When God made man, He said, let us make man in our own image and after our likeness. You are a God being. You have the likeness of God inside of you. You are not lacking anything. You're not lacking one thing except having your eyes opened up to see what's always been true from the beginning. See? Why do you let that woman define who you are, or that man define who you are? Why have you allowed the words of somebody else to be the words that you accept over your own life? Oh, you'll never have enough. You'll never be good enough. You'll never measure up. Don't listen to those things. Those are labels. Those are opinions. But that doesn't have to be the final word for you. What do you say about yourself? What is it that you speak when you look at yourself in the mirror? Or what is the thoughts that you think that nobody else knows about yourself? See? You might be thinking, well, is all this important? Well, if you want something different, you're going to have to do something different. Insanity is you thinking that you can continue to do the same thing over and over and just think you'll get a different result. That's not true. You'll never get a different result. You'll always get the same old that you've been getting your entire life unless you think different and do different. If you don't think different and do different, you'll never get different. You'll continue to do what you've always done. And if you're tired, like I had to come to a place where I said, you know what, enough is enough. I've drawn the line in the sand, so to speak, and I've said, you know what, I am not going to shipwreck what I am believing for. I am going to manifest my dreams. If I asked you right now, what are your dreams? What would your dream life look like? If I could snap my finger and give you that life, what would it look like? Do you even have a clue of what that might be? Or are you just living aimless, just going through life, just whatever happens, happens? Do you know it doesn't have to be that way? You can live life with goals. You can have purpose in life. You can do things with a purpose attached to it. Listen, this, although not everyone taps into it, this is not something for just the elite or the few elected. No, this is for whosoever will. As long as you have a purpose, as long as you have a goal, as long as you don't shipwreck what you're desiring to manifest and you see it through, you will always hit the target every single time. It doesn't matter what comes against you. You don't have to be that suitcase that falls apart, every single time like a $2 suitcase. You don't have to be that. You can be something because you are something that is designed to endure, persevere. You have resilience. You can do all things. There is nothing impossible for him that believes. You see? So, what are you going to do? I want to hear about it. I want to hear how you've heard what I've said today, and you're going to message me, and you're going to tell me what it is that you're setting out to do so that I can agree with you as well, and you and I can be on the same wavelength, the same frequency, so that as you transmit that, I'm going to agree with that, and we're going to see that manifest. And think big. Don't think small. Don't think something you've already done before. Think outside your box. Don't limit the Holy One. You are the Holy One. Don't limit it. Don't limit yourself from achieving things greater than you've ever achieved before in your life. And after you get that checked off, guess what? It's time to make another goal. It's time to go forward. It's time to press toward the mark. It's time to keep going. I have a card in my pocket that says I make $3,000 every single week. And you know what? Really, that's not even big thinking. $1 million is not big thinking. It's only big if you think it's big. See? Who told you you were naked? Who told you that was big? Who told you you couldn't do that? Because whoever it is that told you, that was a lie. And that'll continue to be a lie until you start telling yourself that you can do all things. Whatsoever you desire, believe that you have already received it. See? This is the way that people achieve things. I'm sitting here at Sundance Square. I'm looking at all these beautiful buildings. And guess what? Every one of these buildings started in somebody's imagination. They started in the mind of somebody. What is in your mind to manifest? What can you dream? What can you think about? You see? Because if you can think about it, and if you can assume the feeling that you already possess it, not that your senses already have touched it, but that you've already assumed the feeling of possessing it on the inside. And I'm going to close with this verse. We believe that the world was framed by the Word of God, so that what is seen was made by what is unseen. The unseen part of man is what creates everything that the seen part of man gets to look at. It all started inside. It starts inside of you. Everything starts on the inside. My time's up. I'm your host, LY. You've tuned into God's Convo. Until next time, God bless you. Have a wonderful night.